All right. So, as we're getting started, just taking a minute to come into sensation in your body and noticing what it feels like to be you without any huge need to change anything. And as you're noticing what it feels like to be you, just take in the space around you at the same time. So you're not just within yourself. You're within yourself, and your awareness is also bubbling out into the environment, just checking out what is around you and allowing that to come into your awareness. So bringing everything around you into awareness in your peripheral vision, in your direct vision, and also in your sort of kinesthetic awareness. So we have more sense in our body of what's going on than just visual. We can also have the auditory sense and the kinesthetic sense, or the sense of movement, proprioceptive sense, the sense of how, what's moving in relationship to something else in my body, or the interoception of what's moving inside my body. And thinking of all that space, the inner space, the outer space, as being all of it's arriving within your awareness. Whatever's arriving is arriving and arising in your awareness all at the same time. And we're going to play with the different ways of accessing the space inside of us as well as the space outside of us to come into presence with that space. And I'll think of space as a resource, as something that's actually working with us. And in many ways, it is like us being humans on the planet. We are always in relationship to gravity and the space below us, underneath us. Even if we move, like the space down here, or if I'm up here, the space down there, I always know where down is because of the water in my body and the relationship to gravity. So allowing our sense to come into that relationship of connectedness to the planet. So we have the earth underneath us and we can feel that we aren't going to fall off, right? That our butt is on the floor or our feet are on the floor, whatever it is, we can feel where down is with our eyes closed or with our eyes open. No matter how we move, we can always know what down is. If we're in water, maybe it's different. Maybe in the water, we're surrounded by sensation. It's harder to know. But in the air, it's very easy to know where the down part is. So let's just let ourselves settle down into downness. And as we're settling down into the downness, imagining the earth energy coming up into our body. So the earth energy supporting us, the energy of Gaia, the energy of this planet that we live on. And let's hum with that. So we'll do like a low hum, and probably my earbuds will take out the sound that I'm making, but maybe a few breaths of a HM sound. And inviting the hum and your awareness to take you down into sensation, to take you down towards the earth, so that we could hum up higher and it would bring us up higher, but thinking of the hum just settling down. Letting yourself take resting breaths whenever you need them, and you'll just hum for as long as it feels good, and then inhale back through your nose so you get a big sniff in of that nitric oxide, which should be created in the turbines of your nose, coming in to act as a vasodilator, antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. So just this natural resource of breathing the air and humming and making that vibratory sound into our body, vibrating our tissues, but also creating this natural vasodilator, which is going to create more spaciousness within our arteries, our veins, our heart. So nitric oxide, vasodilation as a way of being spacious inside in a very gentle manner with the hum. If the hum feels like too much, just hang out with yourself and feel the connection to the earth, feel the gravitational pull. Inviting any micro movement that's coming up into your spine or into your body, into your face to just play out. Maybe in your arms, any part of your body that feels like it might be nice to move, let it happen. Allow that movement. So in a sense, we're letting ourselves settle down, but we're also creating this vibration within our body. And within our body, on the tissue level, on the bone level, we're giving ourselves this little internal, I want to say toning, so that there, and it is, we're entoning and toning, but we're toning the tissue, we're giving it this vibration with our awareness. So the inner space is getting more, I want to say articulated, but I think that what I really mean is more congruent, more harmonious, more coherent with itself and with the fluids in our body, coming into harmony with the fibers in our body, coming into harmony with our nervous system, coming into harmony with our breath, coming into harmony with our hormones. So a few more times with that humming. And we could say that we're making the inner space more potent. We're giving potency to the inner space in our bodies. And let's start to allow our awareness to come out again. So in the beginning, we sort of had that taking in the room around us, but maybe thinking of just the sort of immediate outer layer around your body, the near space, the space that's close to your body, like the negative space right around you, around the back space, around your face, maybe even doing with your hands, just a little wash without touching, like the outer space of your body, and feeling, almost we could say, I can't see auras personally, but imagining that you're just feeling that edge of your aura. And in a very gentle, loving way, touching that pretty close, near reach space around the surface of your body. And feeling into that. And maybe as you're feeling into that, maybe awareness, things will come into your awareness, into your hands of like, oh, I feel something here. Maybe not, but just feeling that outer surface, one layer, or maybe it's quite a lot of layers, because I'm a good 5 or 6 inches away from my skin. But feeling that outer layer, like if we were doing Reiki on someone and we weren't going to touch them, we might be about that far away. Maybe you can sense something, or if I do it to my cats, the same thing. It's sort of too intense to do it close to them. So I give them a little bit of space to receive the energy without having too much shift happen too quickly. So just feeling into that outer space, the negative space around your body with your hands. And maybe you start to feel in your hands like heat or tingling or something. And now that you've sort of awoken it and enlivened it, imagine that you're just going to let your body move within that outer layer of space, so that your limbs, it's like you have this big sleeve of energy around your body, or around all the parts of your body. And as you move, there's a relationship between you and this outer surface. So still near reach space, but we're kind of radiating out into our kinesphere and then coming back in. And it might be a core distal center to edge relationship of coming out and coming in, as if we're just feeling around that surface area. And this is potentially just completely an exercise of the imagination, but it might also be an exercise of sensation. And it may be that different images or memories come into you as you play with this space just outside of your body. And you can also feel in your movement, how does it feel? to how do you want to move with that? How does your arm want to move, or how does your body underneath want to move? And maybe it doesn't want to move. Maybe stillness is the thing, but just letting yourself feel this immediate surface area, like the surface volume of air and space around you. And then just adding this idea to the imagination that there isn't like you have this skin surface, but like that you are part of that space around you as well. That space is not separate from you or from your experience, and letting yourself move into that space, so that whether it's just in your awareness or in your movement, you're letting yourself kind of grow into more spaciousness, so that the edges of your body become a little less distinguished and a little more permeable, and there's a little bit of free flow between what's immediately around you and coming back into you, if that feels safe and okay. It's sort of an awareness game, and I'm going to take it down to the floor. Once I get to the floor, there's immediate information coming into my skin of the floor. There's also the immediate information of my skin, of the air. But what if I imagine that I can move like through the floor, or that as I'm moving, that this whole pattern of me is going beyond the surface of the floor and it's going up into the air. So the pattern of you has more room. And as the pattern of you externally has this more expansive spaciousness, the pattern of you inside your body also gets to open up a little bit. So it's not quite so tight and restricted inside. There's more fluidity and more fluency, more freedom. And you can just wiggle around with that, playing into it in any way that feels interesting. Radiating outward, coming back into yourself, radiating outward, imagining that your whole body is like almost like you're like a big snowman with limbs, right? So you have more expansiveness around you. And that all of this space around you is really supporting you. It's really supporting your movement. It's really supporting your inner body and your energy body. And we're just going to add another thought that that space around you is very loving and very kind. So it is nurturing and nourishing you and allowing you the freedom to move within it. And it, in turn, has that freedom to move within you, right? As you move through space, there isn't a separation of the space that's outside of you and the space that's inside of you. All of that space is still just space. And it doesn't change even if you're moving through it. And so part of this imagination trip is just to give you a different experience of being in your body. And when we come from a different perception or a different experience, then we can open up secret passageways that we didn't know existed. We can open up into things that maybe were previously unnoticed and unexplored. So allowing your awareness to continue to grow into the space outside of you, and also to come very deep into the space inside of you. And as I come to that thought of my awareness really moving out, 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 and then coming in, it slows me down. And you may feel how far, sense how far outside of you your awareness can go. And then also how deep inside of you your awareness can go. All the time allowing a flow of either micro or macro or both, macro movement, micro movement, the two together in this flow of being. when you find yourself on the return to inner space, you may just see if you can go deeper, and then see if you can go even deeper, and see if you can go even deeper. And you can just ask yourself the question, can I go further into this? Can I take my awareness deeper inside? And that doesn't mean it has to be located in one location. It still can be very global in that deepening, diving into your awareness within. And if it feels interesting, you can do the same thing with going out. Like, how far can I take my awareness? And it may just be your awareness in imagination, which is a glorious place. I am going to give us music. And I'll say one more thing is really to play with this idea of growing and shrinking as well. That maybe it's happening with the breath, maybe it's happening in different ways, and really three-dimensional, like it can happen in any way. It doesn't have to be these linear ideas out and in, but it can be really spirally, shifty, floaty, outwards and inwards. I'm just getting music. Oh yeah, we're gonna go with this one. We're actually in the middle of one. I'm just gonna bring it on. This is Ambient Fields. The album is number 4 and the song is number 1. So let the music also inform your movement. Let them, like the information, creating form from the sound, creating form from the curious play of being very deeply internal and radiating out into the space around you. The potent space as a life support for us being here on the planet. And as we dance with our awareness through that space, we're just giving ourselves more options and opportunities for being. Letting go of the idea of being a being made of bones and muscles, and think of yourself as being made of spaciousness, air and water, earthiness, fire, so that the movement can be so effortless and free. really allowing your nervous system to rest inside your body, right? Nervous system is fully supported by your body. So letting it be suspended, floating inside of this fluid being, which is you. And movement can be effortless and freeing, or playful and exploratory. Giving yourself permission to really take up space within your own body and to move outside of your body too. Sometimes in meditation, we talk about not grasping for anything and not holding like the tensions of reaching or trying. In this situation, there may be reaching, there may be grasping, but let it be playful and fluid, exploration, curiosity. You're not trying to reach, you know what you're trying to reach. You're trying to just reach and see what you come across. Right? If you reach out and grasp, if you radiate away from center, or if you come deeply inside, what is there? What will you find from curiosity, from inquiry? What's happening? Inviting in the full wonder of being. Tuning into the stardust in your body, right? The sparkly stardust. And it's not to say there can't be any push pull or any resistance. That can be really fun to play with too. So that can also come in. We're not disallowing it. Sometimes that push-pull is the most delicious part of the moment. So allow that too. But letting your awareness continue to radiate way out into space and to come back in. And maybe like your awareness is going way beyond the ceiling, way beyond the sky, out into the cosmos. Or maybe it's just like in the near surface area or the air around you. Letting go of all your ideas of how you're supposed to move, all the right and wrongs that people have told you. And just feeling into your body and feeling into the space around you. The three-dimensional space. Giving your imagination free rein to play in this moment, in this time, with the sounds that you're hearing, with whatever you're feeling, with whatever imagery comes up. So it's like you're letting your body dream in movement or in stillness, just with awareness. And in that dreaming movement, anything is possible. The coagulation of our old ideas can just sort of reabsorb, composted in our movement or in the floor or in the air or in the space. Allowing all the parts of you, the noble, awesome, shiny parts, That's a Wendy Palmer. Noble, awesome, shiny. The stardust, the spaciousness, the connectedness, the fluidity. Just inviting that in. And if you're telling yourself, oh, I'm not that, or I'm not this, let go of that thought. Or I can't do that, or I can't do this. Just let go of it. Just be in the flow of being. Letting yourself sort of take a bath or be in the shower of the most awesome, shiny, sparkly spaciousness, the most loving space. Surrounding you, inside of you, outside of you, everywhere. Letting yourself receive that sparkly, shiny deliciousness. Maybe sparkly and shiny aren't your things. Maybe it's something else. Unfolding and enfolding in the spaciousness. Inviting in the full wave-like, tentacle-like participation of being in an organic body of water. trying to fade it out, although I feel like while I do it on the iTunes, it doesn't actually happen. So hopefully it wasn't too violent to shut down. Give yourself a few breaths or a few moments in stillness, maybe laying down, maybe sitting up, whatever feels good to you. Just letting your body have some of its own space to process whatever it was that you went through in that time. So processing the processing, resting in open awareness without having to do anything. But you also don't have to stop anything from happening. So maybe things are still happening. Maybe you're moving, maybe not. A lot of times it's hard for me to stop. I still just want to keep going, and my body is still in the echoes of the flow. It just keeps coming up for me, so I'm going to say it. Offering yourself forgiveness for anything that has gone wrong. So many things go wrong. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe something horrible happened. Just offer yourself some forgiveness or a lot of forgiveness. Forgiveness is always valuable. Yeah, forgiveness gives us more spaciousness. When we forgive, we suddenly open up back into spaciousness. Oh, I don't need to hold on to that. Now there's space there. And that could be ourselves, right? We got to be gentle and kind to ourselves. But maybe it's other people. Wherever it is, wherever the resistance is held, it's in you if you're aware of it. So if you are out there in the TV lands, thank you for joining us. And I am going to close it out. If you ever want to be in the room, reach out to me.